next guest, Chris Doxsey, is an NASM certified personal trainer, precision nutrition exercise coach, CrossFit certified level 1 trainer, transformation coach, and firefighter.
Handsome as all get out.
He has a nickname of Foxy Doxy from all past clients
And me.
and people. He has a BS from Thomas More College and has helped hundreds of people. Oh, he has a BS.
It's a bachelor's in science.
I
man.
know.
I mean,
But the way I said
at
it, I'm trying to
times.
hurry. Yeah, he has a BS. Help people overcome their challenges and achieve their goals for over 20 years. Doxy's provided support, coaching, and direction necessary for his clients to take action and conquer hard things, whether it means increased physical function or shedding 20 to 100 plus pounds. Leading teams of personal trainers and nutrition coaches. Chris has helped the Phoenix area lose over 80,000 pounds collectively.
Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach Chris Doxsey. What's up, Dox?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Good. Sorry we're a little late.
No, it's all great.
How are
It's all
you?
good stuff. Doing great. Thank you for asking, Dave.
Oh,
Good morning, handsome.
it's so good to have you on here.
You too, handsome. Yeah. Hey,
I feel like we should jump in though. So I just read your background, your bio, but very
Thank you.
important for everybody here to know. For those who have been in first, second, third, well, I guess the second, third challenge, or have worked with me for years before, have followed or been with me for years, you know that Doxy's been in my life for about a decade now. The guy has, since the days of extreme weight loss, he is the guy that has always, whether it was, we are trying to create a physical therapy program, like a training program that we could implement into physical therapy offices, or you were one of the first ones helping us with Transform app when we were doing our meal system. You're like, what can I do? Just Dox, you've always been there, wanting to help, wanting to make a change on a bigger level. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate you.
appreciate you too. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I've been lucky to be on the ride with you. In all honesty, I really appreciate it, Heidi.
Oh my gosh. Well, a lot of people don't know this, but back when Transform, I was the head of the Transform coaching program. I started it years ago. And Doxy was one of my head coaches, and he's the person that I could always count on. Like, I knew from the moment I met you, I remember watching you work with the people in the physical therapy clinic. I met you years ago. I met you before I met Chris Powell. Yeah. We won't go into that. Foxy
Right.
Doxy, Jim, you were a personal trainer back then.
Yeah.
Okay, good. But one of the things I loved about you was just the way that I saw you connect and care. Like, you can take someone who's really struggling and help them feel so loved. And for anyone, I see comments, there's been so many people who have gotten the opportunity to work with you. And in the second challenge, there was such a huge request for nutrition coaching that I had reached out to you and I said, hey, what would this look like? Can you open up some spots? And you were so busy. You're a firefighter. You were doing coaching on your own. And you were so generous in opening up spots to so we kind of co-created what this program would look like. You came in as this person in this community who helps lead and teach and guide in nutrition. And then we created nutrition education together. You're still a part of that nutrition education premium program and really the basic nutrition. But Dox, you've been a part of creating the guides for this. You've been incremental. I hope everybody knows how great you are and how much a big part of this community you have always been.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. How's it been for you working with these peeps over the past year?
It's been completely, honestly, it's almost a little surreal because you all that are here with us today and others that I've had the pleasure of coaching, whether it be joining forces with Heidi in the challenges or the one-on-one level, man, you all are up to something. So it's really awesome to work with people who are really know what they're looking to create with their health and wellness, or have a good general launch point idea and are looking for that guidance, looking to put in the work and figure out how to create a healthy relationship with food, and also make sure that they're able to show up in all the areas of life that in the way that they want to, where your health and wellness is not pulling you back. As a matter of fact, it's propelling you forward into it.
Wow.
And so the coaching clients have been amazing, absolutely amazing.
And that's the thing that is so different about you versus most coaches. Like, me, and I am all for, I'll give people a meal plan, right? I don't love to,
Right.
because that's just giving them a fish. I
Right.
believe in teaching them how to fish. So sometimes it's like, well, I'll give you a meal while I
Right.
teach you how to make it yourself. Right. And the goal is not have to have me give you anything. And the way that you coach, and what was so great when we talked about what this coaching, by the way, he opened up spots for the challenge specifically, and the clients did not want to leave him. And so it's become its own business. We have, and actually in challenge number 3, Doxy had 0 spots. And so he actually just carved out room to, I think you're going to do about 5 more.
Mhm.
For people on here. You open it up specifically for this challenge. Thank you very much for doing that. But what makes what you do so different is it's not just a check-in, right? Like a lot of people, it's like you email in and there's a check-in. No, I remember you saying, I need to connect with my people once a week, face to face. I need to teach them. I need to educate them. I want to be able to. And so you saying, hey, I'll do this as long as you give me the freedom to like touch base with them. I'm not going to be a thing. I don't want to scale this. I want to be able to take care of the people that I'm with. Now, why is that touch point so important for you?
Thank you for asking, Heidi. One of the biggest reasons is to get a feel for where you're at. It's one thing, communication gets so miscommunicated via text or an email, and to be able to sit with you, open up your food log, whether it's the logs that you'll find here today in the start guide, or whether it's actually in MyFitnessPal, where we get to go through each and every day and talk about the nutrition, like what went well, what didn't, looking back at what could we have done differently, if anything. And then, hey, you know what, maybe this commitment's a little too much, and our eyes, were a little bit bigger than our stomachs. So, in the sense of taking on too many behavior changes at once, or a bigger behavior change than we thought about. And so it's like, do we scale back? Where do we start? And really, by the clientele providing me with the food log, a few days journaled ahead of time before you even start coaching, I look at it, talk about that. Hey, here's launch point. Here's ultimately where we think will be optimal health as far as caloric intake, where you're getting your food from, and other. And then, we're over here. So let's start here, knowing we need to be over here to really see optimal results. But so you can get some wins.
Yeah.
Let's get you some wins. Like you feel like you're kicking butt and taking names. And then, sometimes the calls, you know what? I'll go look at your nutrition later. We need to talk about some things that are heavy on your mind or heart right now. And we're going to make this call about that right now to help have like a breakthrough in this co-creative process of coaching.
That's Docs. I love that so much. There have been so many clients who've come to me, or people have come to you too. And me in general, when I was searching back in the day for the right thing, we're so often just given a thing and we say, follow this plan. Here are your macros, change your, with no explanation behind why. And we usually with the coach, we feel like we have to stick to that thing. And if we don't, we're broken. And so then what happens as a client, when our coach says, how did you do? We lie to them. We lie to our coach because we are scared. I am guilty. I was the same way. I was scared of not being enough, right? When that lie, it's because we haven't figured out how to adhere. And you are a coach. And this is what I do too. We figure out ways. Number one, we allow people to be exactly who they are. So if you mess up, you better tell us, because we're going to love you more for it, right? Mm-hmm. And then number two, let's figure out why, like that behavior change. And it's not always connected to, oh, you drove the wrong path by a fast food restaurant. It could be connected to something, like you said, what's heavy on your mind or your heart.
You know what's crazy? I would just say for me too, Dox, you point out such an important thing that I have fallen into the trap of so many times. And that is, I know the ultimate goal for optimal results and all of what's involved in it, but I'm starting so far over here that I jump to, I got to do everything. I will take it all on. And that
leads to the tips.
Oh, okay. I don't want to spoil the tips, but like that has been my pitfall every single time. Is not like incrementally inching my way up to it.
Well, let's take that right there.
Okay.
And let's move into the tips, because these are 3 things. So Doxy has 3. I see people texting by messaging. If you want, Doxy has 5 spots. This is the first time we've announced them. If you want one, email support@heidipowell.net. it is first come, first serve. Anyway, so go do that. But you will not be disappointed. Trust me. There's a reason people stay on. And it's not just because he's a handsome guy.
Firefighter.
So today, Doxy, you have 3 simple tips that everybody here can incorporate for nutrition success. What are they?
Thank you, Heidi. And thank you, Dave. So tip 1, this is something we have everybody do starting week 1, whether it's nut ed or 101 for sure. And that is log everything you eat. So everyone in the week, so start week 1 knowing that you could stick to it and win at it. But as far as writing down everything you eat with food logging, or logging at MyFitnessPal, 1, 2, using these logs in the actual quick start guide, or actually in MyFitnessPal. Why? Because you get to actually see how you show up. How easy is it to go through your day, grab an extra bite from your kid's plate, or grab that little piece of candy and just keep going? Why? Because it's automatic. You are conditioned to do it.
What do you call those, Docs? What do you call those?
As far as the behaviors, bites, licks, and taste.
Yes.
So
The BLTs. I remember the first time I heard it. We were on a Zoom. It was your clients. They were like, gotta watch my BLTs. I'm like, yeah, you got it. You should watch your BLTs if you're interested. I thought they meant like bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes, Carl Jr. or whatever.
Right.
No, it's bites, licks, and tastes. I love it.
Yeah. And so now you get to actually see how you show up. About, generally speaking, how many calories are you consuming a day? Where are most of your nutrition coming from? Is it coming more from carbohydrates like fruits, starches, grains, or candies? Or is it coming more from like protein sources, meats, yogurts? A lot of people lumped in cheeses, things even though it's more of fat, but where's it coming from? More cheese, more processed crackers, or more carbs? Where's it all coming from? And okay, once I see that, and you grab a weekend day for sure, grab a weekend day or 2 for sure. You have a weekday to look at.
Val says bagels. Sorry, Val. We all saw that.
And so then all of a sudden you see, okay, this is why I'm at where I'm at.
Yeah.
And it's really important to see that. And it's like, okay, cool. And as those of you that are going through nut ed, nutrition ed, that are signed up for that, and even within the guide, you'll see you're going to get tools to learn how to create your own programming. Really, it's pretty neat.
I love that you just said that. So one of the biggest in nutrition education, again, for those of you that signed up, whether you did self-guided or premium, you're all going to be inside of the same classroom each week, right? That first week classroom was beautiful and amazing. And I cannot wait for you guys to get in. More than anything, the next week, when we start out that next week talking about aha moments or light bulb moments from the last week, because you and we started having them logging their foods right off the bat, what it did for people is it helped them remove emotion and labels from food. It increases awareness, and we're so scared to write down what it is that we eat. We're scared of food. We're scared of a word. And when we actually just do it, we start busting through that fear and realizing that it just is what is. It's just a bagel. It's it's information. Yeah. So I love that. Thanks so much, Docs. What's tip number 2? So number 1, log your food. Guys, by the way, we have food logs in the Start Here guide. Doxy is going to show you them again today. But tip number 2.
Yeah, start with one thing that you can do is stick to it. Okay. So what is that one thing? For example, maybe it's the show up 6 for those of you who will be starting accountability coaching.
Wow.
And if you're interested in learning more about that, you could definitely go to the site. There's resources. You could look to see what the program's all about. But when we talk about show up, it's our acronym. You speak your gratitude for us. Speaking your gratitude. So declaring at least one thing you're grateful for each day. 2 would be the H, hydration. Drinking a half ounce of water per pound of body weight, plus an additional 32 ounces for every hour of exercise. Some of you may look at that and go, oh my goodness, that's like 6 to 10 times more water than what I'm drinking. Okay, modify that. What's a commitment you can stick to? If you're drinking a water bottle a day, bump to 2. If you're drinking 2, bump to 3. Do it in a way that is smart.
Meet yourself where you're at. Don't overcommit. Don't overcommit.
Do it. Don't do it. You will feel good about it because you
Yeah.
know that you're creating processes that will lead you to your goals. So then that's owning your promise. What's your commitment to self? And when we talk about power promises, something that Heidi created years ago, Heidi and a guy named CP. So when it comes to your power promise, that's your word, inked in blood. That is a commitment, a contract with self that I'm going to do this no matter what. Tough day, good day, bad day, sad day, whatever it is, I'm going to do it. I look at my day. I know where I can accomplish this. Water is one of those that is like repetitive throughout the day, more so than not. So, hey, do I need to chew off that? Or is it just starting to add protein to one meal a day? Is it just, hey, I'm going to do a portion of the workouts in the app. I'm going to start with 5 minutes. I'm going to do some squats. I'm going to do squats every hour on the hour, do 10 of them. Set an alarm that reoccurs, or just start with doing 10 squats a day. Shoot, whatever it may be. So owning your promise and making sure it is inked, and you've thought about how you're going to accomplish it, when you're going to accomplish it, and what might pop up that might derail you, and how you're going to handle it. And so, but if you have to put that much thought into it too, you may be overcommitting, right? So just look at it, and that way you can have some wins. And if it doesn't go well, it's okay. You just reassess what happened, what popped up, what could I have done differently, and then recommit or renegotiate the commitment, make it smaller, or choose something else.
Yeah.
And then workout, workout. So getting that workout in, again, that could kind of be the O and the W, could be one and the same for you, just depending on the person. And then as far as the U, unplug, just be present, mindfulness. Research has shown that people, even in burn victims and hospital organizations, with mindfulness, being present, is shown 30% faster recovery for burn victims that were implementing mindfulness practice. How crazy is that?
Wow.
And it decreases the like ghrelin levels if we don't have electronics when we eat our meals. Like ghrelin's a hormone that says you're hungry, and then leptin's
do you hear what he just said? It decreases ghrelin levels if you don't have electronics while eating your meals. So what he's saying is, if you are eating your meals and looking at your phone or watching TV, which we do sometimes, your ghrelin levels decrease, right?
If you're not looking at it, yep.
If you're not, yes. And so essentially, the more you watch a screen while you're eating, the hungrier you will be.
It creates leptin resistance.
This is what Doxy adds to nutrition education. So when you are in there, and we'll talk more about this. I love it. I can just be like, Dox, what do you think about this? And it's like he comes out with all these sciencey facts. Yes, no more TV during dinner. If you care, but hey, if you're like, I like being extra hungry at dinner, keep watching TV.
Keep watching. Yeah, if you're like, I'm under eating, I need to eat more.
Maybe I need more TV.
I gotta keep going. Eat fast and don't too much. Just swallow
at all times.
Yeah. Don't chew, just swallow and keep going until it hits you. No, just joking. But yeah, it promotes leptin sensitivity, because leptin's the hormone that tells you that you're satiated or full when you should be, when you don't have electronics. Pretty interesting.
We learn all about this in nutrition education. So if you are signed up, get ready to have your mind blown. I saw someone say they missed some of the numbers or the letters of show up. So it's just show up. Don't worry, we're going to be talking a lot more about it, especially if you're in accountability coaching, because we'll go through it. But the final one, Dox, was played it, right?
Yeah,
do you want to
getting your photos. Yeah, taking photos of your food, everything you eat. Take photos of it. Look at the inventory, right? And then if you're accountability, you share that with your accountability coach. Or you're at least, if you're like, man, I will forget to take photos all day long. I've seen people run into that challenge. We have as coaches. Then make a journal entry. Just write it down.
I love it.
Or the logs.
I love it. So that tip, guys, I saw people asking. He was just going through the acronym show up. But that tip is start with one thing you can win at. So basically that is remember show up. And those things, Kathy Habke just commented what they were. You'll be able to see them everywhere. Pick one is what he's saying, because do you know that when you make one commitment, you have an 80% chance of of success with that habit. When you commit to one habit at a time, when you commit to two, your chance of success drops to 35%. And when you commit to three at the same time, Docs, what is your chance of success when you commit to three at the same time?
15% at the best.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? So that right there, commit to one at a time and have an.
I'm not a fan of that.
What was that?
I was like, I'm not a fan of those odds for myself.
No.
Some of you may be just hard chargers and just, 50%. I'll turn to that 99 or 100, but
Thank you.
win.
Yeah, exactly. So tip number 2 is pick one thing. What is tip number 3, Docs?
Ooh, this is the tough one.
Yeah.
This is the one that is make or break time for many people in their programs, and that's planning ahead.
Yeah.
Heidi was talking about it. Planning ahead. You're either planning to succeed or we're planning to go oopsie.
Yeah. Alexa had just commented saying, I planned all my food last night, so I didn't have to even think today. You said it, Lex, as Doxy was sharing that tip.
Yeah.
And yeah, Denise, well, that explains all my past failures, she says. Planning ahead.
Planning ahead. And a real quick plug on that. It's interesting. So doing some research on some clients of Heidi's through the past that I had a privilege of working with. And when we found that what were some commonalities between people that hit their goals and people that just were kind of lulling and never really getting to them. And individuals are 125% more likely to hit their goals if they planned anywhere from a couple of days, 3 days in advance to a week.
Did you hear that?
3 days plus. It was 125%.
125%.
Talk
about an increased chance of success. If you are failing, if you feel like you're not able to stick with your plan, ask yourself the question, am I preparing? It's simple, you guys. And we're going to do more on this actually on Sunday and Saturday with the chef who comes on, Chef David. We'll talk about it. We talk a lot about this in nutrition education, but it's as simple as putting chicken breasts in a crock pot. That's what we did last night. Yeah.
This is my hardest thing right now. I will be honest. If nothing, there's just busyness and 2 states and 8 kids and all of the things that are happening, and preparation for me is the thing I have to work on most. And my singular most important thing is to nail nutrition for real this time. And I know it can't happen without a plan. So I love you brought that up. I love that you brought that up.
Because this is what real quickly happens. When we don't plan, right? You're playing a game that's unfamiliar. So you're having to look back and hope to find resources that are the food source that you were looking for. And you don't know a difference between protein versus carb versus fat. And then all of a sudden you look at the end of the day and you're like, why am I always over on my fat? Half of my
lost at the end of the day. Like you've stopped tracking because you don't even know,
And do we have more energy later in the day mentally or less? Less. So now all of a sudden the whole day you are stressed out thinking about what am I going to eat and where, and do I even have it? I'll go here to get it. Oh, they're out. What do I do now? Oh, the heck with it. I'm going to get a burger. I'm going to get my pizza, right? Something that you didn't anticipate. So you actually spend more mental energy, and then let's not wait, not discard waiting 15 to 20 minutes to get your food, going through the fast food line, driving to the place, waiting to get it, driving back, and then eating it. You are totally spending 5 to 10 times more time by not planning and prepping. You're spending way more time.
Money. And let's talk about the shame and the guilt when you know you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing. I had a moment, I'm human. And I had a moment a couple of weeks ago with Dave where I'm like, I'm out of integrity. I think I talked about it in boot camp. The shame and the guilt, like I can feel it coursing through my veins when I know I'm out of integrity, right? When I know I'm doing something that it's stupid because I committed to myself. I wouldn't do it. No one else would care. Yeah. But like it's so heavy on my heart. And when we start having that, we stop, especially in nutrition, we stop actually tracking properly. And no one's looking at our food logs but us. But we're like lying to ourselves, So Docs, I love everything you're saying. And I saw some people saying, very in line, we're setting ourselves up from the beginning for failure by overcommitting, by taking on too much, by making it more difficult. Now, this is why I say with the resources and the guides that we have inside of the basic challenge. So I'm going to go through, right? But inside of the basic challenge, They are enough for some people who just need to start small. Now, if you opted into nutrition education, no matter where you're at, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to be mind blown, but don't feel like you need that. If you want more on this type of a thing in bulk, right? But not overwhelming, you'll be surprised. That's what nutrition education is. But one thing about the guides, we've made the guides, you guys, and Doxy has been hugely responsible for what's inside of the Start Here guide nutritionally. Like, it was a thing when he came on, he's like, hey, I want to make sure they have access to this. We put what he uses for his clients in the guides that you get with the basic challenge. So everyone will have access in that Start Here guide. But it's one thing for us to have the guides, right? We can lead a horse to water, but we can't make them drink. You guys have to meet us halfway. And meeting us halfway looks like committing to not overcommitting. It looks like trusting us that less is more. It looks like just because you see something that looks so simple, believing that this simplicity might be the thing that actually makes a change this time. Because remember, what we were doing before, overcommitting, does not work, right? These deprivational plans do not work. So let's try something else. And if you don't like it, what do we always say?
You can go back to what wasn't working before.
You can always go back to what wasn't working before. Do this challenge in its entirety, right? Use the guides. Docs, I know you had an out at 11. How are you on time? Do you need to go?
Just a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, few minutes. Okay, cool. Can we go ahead and jump into real quick? Because a question, yeah. We're going to talk about nutrition education. Before we pull that slide up, Val, couple things. Doxy, I saw you guys saying, what if I don't get the spot with Doxy? Email in, support@HeidiPal.net. They're probably already gone. Still email just in case someone, because we do have, I mentioned it briefly, but not enough. Coach Yvonne has been training under Doxy for years, and she is amazing. She was an accountability coach of ours last round. She already has nutrition coaching clients. We just opened up new spots for her for this challenge. So she has 10 spots. Yep. I know there's a lot of women who prefer to work with women as well, because as females, we have hormones and PMSing and menopause and all that stuff. And Yvonne is phenomenal. Yes, you will love her. She works right under and with Doxy. Dox, do you want to talk about Yvonne for a sec?
Yeah, she's amazing. She's very methodical, and that's a great thing, because she is very considerate of what you've done in the past, how it's affecting you now, what is a good amount for you to commit to by asking you certain questions. And then as far as meeting where you're at, wow, like, her notes are very concise.
I know.
And her in the charts and the tracker that her clients have with her, she even has already helped make improvements to what we're doing in that tracker by, we talked about, showing the actual averages or addressing it if people are being challenged, or other, like, hey, here's how we're doing with this. Let's take it back a little bit. She's already been like, hey, I'm gonna bring them back to here, or I'm gonna go ahead. What do you think? We're gonna go progress them. She and I meet weekly to talk about how people are doing. And he's already made the program better just in the short time she's been with us.
One of my friends worked with her, and I know it's not about weight loss, because I don't think it is about weight loss. I think it's about so much more. But if we were to put numbers with it, in 2 months, my friend lost 10 pounds, and she'd been trying everything. But more than that, she had gained confidence that, like, she has tools and she's being taught by Yvonne. It's really cool. So those asking, nutrition, this coaching. So this is, do you want a we should just call it one-on-one coach. It's a one-on-one coaching program. You have not seen anything about it yet, because we don't post about it, because there are rarely spots about it. So nobody here has actually bought one-on-one coaching yet. If anyone wants a one-on-one coach, because that is one of our biggest requests for these challenges, is, can I get a one-on-one coach, nutrition coach? Doxy has 5 spots. We're just telling you now. Yvonne has 10. In order to get this, you have to email support@HeidiPal.net. It is different than nutrition education. So nutrition education is a classroom. It's a big group of people. Okay. So anyway, hopefully that we'll dive into that in just a minute. But before we go into nutrition education, Val, can we go ahead and pop up the slide for what comes with the challenge? So for those who are like, I don't want anything extra, No, like, let us show you what we created for you. Here we go. So this is a start here guide. When you find this in your portal, it'll be in the portal on Friday. We'll have it available later on today too. This start here guide. Docs, do you want to talk a little bit about it? The parts to highlight. Val, do we have any screens to show?
Yeah, for the food logs for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Let's pop up food logs first. Great.
Yeah, food logs and then meal. Yeah, perfect. All right, so here we go. We have the portion guides, and you have everything from palm, fist, thumb to, and right here, beautifully put, protein, size of your portion, thickness and diameter, your palm, thickness and diameter. And then as far as your carbohydrates, size of your fist, or if it's a grain that's pre-cooked, filling up your palm, like cupped. And then if it's a fat, size of your thumb. And make it easy. In vegetables, 2 fistfuls, right? So like, hey, if you want to just start there, that's your best bet. If you're not really touched any like measuring or weighing or anything like that, this is a good place to start. And then it talks about the different combinations.
I was real quick, because some people, I remember, like Dave was like, but I don't always know what a protein is, because sometimes we hear protein and we think protein's a healthy food. So we're like, is broccoli a protein? Is banana a protein? We've culture has associated with carbs are bad, protein's good, and it's not the case, right?
Right.
So how do people know?
Perfect.
How can they easily figure out in the guide what a
absolutely. So we have a food list. So that you basically, it's a good, better, best, all good. Then there's better than there's best, right? And then there's gonna be foods that you are used to eating that are not on this list. This is not a, hey, you can't eat that, right? This is a, hey, if you're looking to up your game nutritionally and flood your body with foods that will definitely help, here they are in generally a general list, right? And so you have your proteins list here. So boom, you have your acceptable food list that you can go to and just go through that and pick your protein portions that you like. Then you have the carbs, and then you move on and you have herbs, spices, fats, veggies, all of it right there for you. It's a great thing to have printed out and at your disposal. Take a picture of it, keep it on your phone. That way when you're out and about, you don't have the guide with you maybe, but you do actually online. You can open up your email and have access to it. Here we go. And then you have the pairing guide that accompanies it. If you're looking for a baseline, hey, how can I, what foods do I put together? Well, in what order? Here we go, the guides. So you have your proteins list, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna have a protein, a carb, and maybe a veggie with these seasonings and condiments. Or maybe you want a protein, a fat, and veggies. Carb cycling is huge with us, which we'll get into later for those of you that are on board. And then, but like maybe you want to do a little bit balanced, and you just cut the portions in half. You want, I want fats and a fat selection and a carb selection. I'm gonna cut it in half and put it into my meal for that meal 2, meal 1, whatever it is, and be a little more balanced in the approach. So you have these, which is great.
Michelle, good question. Why is so little listed for veggies? There are so many veggies. So it's a suggested list. It's not a complete list. It's not a comprehensive list. I just have to hit on Christine. I love what you guys are saying. You said so many nutrition programs out there are definitely at no level of learning like Heidi, no level like learning from Heidi and her team. This is beautiful. Let me tell you this, very important for you guys, for everyone to know, every single thing we do nutritionally. First of all the way that we carb cycle was created and backed years ago by doctors and a registered dietitian. And what we brought forward, everything we do, meal plans, these guides, our nutrition education, it is all backed and collaborated with a registered dietitian. I need everyone to know that. Very important. And you will go in realizing that we are not prescribing anything. We don't prescribe anything. All we do is we help you sift the information you already can get everywhere, right? We're helping you put it in a way, we're educating you, we're empowering you to make healthy choices, even through the guides. So that, Docs, thanks for going through that. Just a reminder, guys, this Angie Herrera. What's up, Angie? She was one of my original coaching peeps, friends.
Welcome back.
Angie, are you doing nutrition education? Because we'll go through at the end of nutrition education, carb cycling, and help you determine if it's best for you. You get to make the choice, right? We'll equip you, give you the tools to make the choice, and then we'll give you the tools and help you break it down what cycles are best. Now, real quick, back to what comes with the program for free. Start Here guide. And then also what Doxy just went through, we also do some unlocks. So there's a nutrition unlock that you get a few weeks in, and then a carb cycling unlock as you've had time, Angie. So whether you do nutrition education or not, you're going to get a carb cycle guide unlock towards the end. But we cannot, like, doing nutrition carb cycling right off the bat without understanding the basics is like running before you learn to walk. We made that mistake in round 1. We don't do that anymore. We give it to you when you're ready. So focus first on that. Now, if you're like, hey, I know the basics, I know how to build a balanced meal, and I want the carb cycling guide early, we'll give it to you early if you email customer support, but we're going to be like, warning, you might not be ready for this.
Someone asked, should we be doing carb cycling? What you're going to find and what they teach?
That's what I just talked about.
Yeah.
That was the same question I just asked.
Got it. I was getting water.
Okay, real quick, because Docs has to go. Can we pop up real quick? Let's talk about what nutrition education premium is. Nutrition education premium. Who is it for? Very important. Nutrition education premium is for anybody wanting food freedom. That is the thing. I wish I would have said, let's just do a big slide that says, what's the promise from it? If you do the course, and I can say this with such certainty, because there are people in here that have done it 2 times, are doing it for a 3rd time, not because they didn't get it, but because they get it. And because they know, they listen to what we said. We guide you through and we help you determine where you stop for now, right? Tracy, worth every penny. It is, as somebody who came from a very difficult disordered eating past, and that ignorance can be bliss, right? But the knowledge is, you can keep that up, Val. The knowledge is so powerful. The knowledge is power. When you have that power, when you know what you're putting in your mouth, when you understand that food is your friend, it's information and it's fuel, you will come out of it we take the most complex topics and help you understand them. We break them down in digestible ways. And then we help you identify where, okay, hey, listen, this is a journey from A to Z, right? But first we got to go from A to B, from B to C, from C to D, right? And you might need to stop at D. And I'm going to tell you to stop. Yeah, Docs, what were you saying?
I gotta go. I'm sorry, guys. But hey, everybody, thank you so much.
Docs, I love you. Thank
you, Docs. Hey, we're going to give away your air fryer while you're not
giving away your air fryer.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Here it is, right here.
Oh, there it is.
My background is getting in the way. Won't take it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. 7 quarts. Put a bunch of food in there. It's awesome. You guys have a good one. Talk soon.
Bye, Docs.
See you, dude.
So nutrition education.